Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're for a mini episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's in a spin-off movie game with me tonight? I got nothing.
Who's Clone Warsing with us today? Is this me? Am I next?
Yes.
Hi, this is Trey, Star Wars Episode 2 fan Johnson from Nintendo Made Podcast. Hello.
Hold on, I gotta drive this awkward bus over and pick some people up on the other side of the map real fast. Oh no, I have to kill everybody first, though. Yeah, this is Kendall.
Save the engineers. What was it that they kept saying that was really annoying? Cannot comply. Like when you have like the wrong target when you try to get your. I don't know if you guys tried to get your teammates to shoot anything for you.
Yeah, like the two times I tried to get my teammates to do stuff. Well, no, actually, so once I was like, I when I was Obi-Wan, I was trying to get him to join me, and Anakin was like, I would if I could. Or I wish I could, or something like that.
Yeah.
I did have my teammates beat the second to last boss for me, so that was fun.
Oh, nice. My teammates didn't make it because they were fucking worthless. Like it was fun to send them to their death. When it'd be like, I don't want to go over there yet. Here, go fight that that circly thing that I hate. The one with the missiles that can kill you really quickly if you're not careful. Or like this, or the spider things with the lasers or whatever. I don't know. There's plenty of things that can kill you quickly in this game. But what game is this, Mike?
We're here to talk about Star Wars: The Clone Wars, developed by Pandemic Studios. That I did not know.
Yeah, Pandemic Studios, who brought us Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2.
Oh, I just know they also brought Saboteur. Really good fucking game.
The Clone Wars was actually the engine that they ended up using for Battlefront 1 and 2.
Oh,
this game was so.
I had no idea they made this game, and I beat this game last week. Published by LucasArts and came out in 2002 and then 2003 for Xbox.
Yeah, it came out. I was just looking at like some of the. I guess it came out for GameCube earlier than PlayStation. Even I got it for Christmas. Is when I got it because it was like I said. I was a fan of Episode 2. I still am. That was like I got like the DVD. I got the DVD and I got the Clone Wars game and the Bounty Hunter game for Christmas. I got those three things probably for Christmas 2002 or whatever year it was. So it was a good Christmas for me. But yeah, I played a lot of this game. I had a lot of fun with it. That's why I asked that we covered it because I really liked it like 20 some years ago, but I haven't played it in a long time and wasn't really sure how it would be now.
So my memory, I've never played it. I knew of it. I own it because I bought it for dirt cheap more than once. Never got around to it.
Oh, you had it even?
Yeah, somewhere. I didn't look for it, but I know I bought this game on Xbox.
Did you have I was going to say, which version did you have?
Probably Xbox with Tetris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it came in a double pack with Tetris, which is I always thought was kind of a weird, like, it's like, okay, I mean, these games don't really have anything to do with each other, but why not? Sure. Like, it's not like a dual, I don't know. It's not like two Star Wars games together or something.
No, it's weird.
Star Wars and Tetris, why not?
Both games feel like they're 100 years old.
Yeah.
One's closer.
Are we talking about our experience or our history or whatever with the game? So I talked about it a little bit. I just wanted to say I don't know how you feel about Episode 2, Kendall. I know like a lot of people have been down on it. I know Mike has made fun of it before on this show.
It's awful
in the past, which a lot of people do. I actually like it. I like it because coming off of Episode 1, which I think is worse, it was all right for me. And I had just I just started going to school at Columbia College in Chicago. It's a film school. And they actually rented out a theater for us, and we got to watch Episode 2 for free, which was great. I didn't even have to pay anything for it. So I was so like disappointed by 1, because of Jar Jar Binks, and mostly Jake Lloyd was really what bothered me the most about that movie. But so I had no interest in seeing the next Star Wars, and they were like, "Oh no, we rented out a theater. You can see it for free." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I liked it. I liked it much better. I know Hayden Christensen isn't the best actor in the world, but I like it better.
He's not the problem.
So I was excited to play this game, and some of the voices in this game ended up like being in the CGI show, but also on the Tartakovsky animated movie. Like I know the voice of Anakin's the same in this game as that as well, or I guess it was 1 minute episodes, right? That was like one whole movie or whatever when it premiered. And I think like the voice of like Count Dooku and possibly Mace Windu, like some of those voices like stayed on like through like the later CGI animated Clone Wars stuff. So
that's really cool. I did not know that.
See some of the original voices start with this game. But I like movie tie-ins. I kind of wish they did that more. I know like a lot of licensed games were always really bad over the years. I do kind of miss seeing stuff like this where it's like, we'll hear like, it starts off like in the movie and then it kind of does some other shit. Like, because they kept talking about the Clone Wars for so long, like in the early movies or whatever. And it's like, what's the Clone Wars? What's the Clone Wars? It's like, here it is, this game, here you go. And then like 6 seasons of, TV too, or whatever. But this was the first time I had seen something claimed to be like, this is the Clone Wars, so I was excited for it for that reason at the time.
So first of all, my opinion of episode 2, I think it's like probably like the 9th best Star Wars movie, which makes it like top 20 movie overall of all time. I think.
How many are there? 12, 13?
There's 12. Yeah, there's 12. I would say. I won't say which ones. I won't say which. Least favorite is Return of the Jedi. Actually, I don't know. I used to say that, but my soapbox with Return of the Jedi is that basically everything that anyone has ever complained about in other Star Wars movies applies to Return of the Jedi. It leans heavily on effects. It has elements that are aimed at a younger audience. It has retcons that kind of break the film. Yeah, it has a lot of things. And then visually, I don't like the ground stuff on Endor anyway, but I rewatched it when I rewatched it in theaters a couple years ago when it was the anniversary. Like I liked it a lot, but my point is like it's hard to say. Like I mean, yeah, maybe Rise of Skywalker was bad, but I also just rewatched Rise of Skywalker and I really liked it. So I think that was the only Star Wars movie that I specifically did not see in theaters. I was like, fuck that. I mean, once they got Abrams back on, I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I think I single-handedly caused the pandemic because I'm pretty sure that I had COVID when I saw it in December of 2019.
Yeah, it was like 2019, right?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that I had COVID, so the pandemic is my fault. I apologize. But it was very important that I see Rise of Skywalker. I'm bored of litigating it. My point is, yes, I also did really enjoy episode 2. I enjoyed episode 1, and I enjoyed, there's a lot of.
One's a good movie. I will die on that hill.
I think, and I also will say
Jake Lloyd was not in it.
Something that I really like about the prequels, and this sort of applies with this movie, is the world building and the like scattershot big picture that we got from it. And
they would make like new planets too, and they weren't all just rehashes of old ones.
So I think the additional. So when you watch, I think if you watch the prequel trilogy and you absolutely don't, you don't read any supplemental books, you don't watch any of the TV shows that we've gotten since then, you don't play any of the video games, you don't get any additional context. I can see where there are holes, and I honestly think that a lot of that applies to the sequel trilogy, although we haven't had time to fill those holes as much. But one thing that I really like about Star Wars is the way that everything fits together like a puzzle, and you don't necessarily even need to have all the puzzle pieces, but when you get those additional puzzle pieces, stuff like this that is like, just a little story of a fight that they had in between. Now we know that according to this, although whether this happened or not, who knows.
I mean, at one time this was canon. Yes.
Yeah, I figured it was knocked out by Disney.
It's definitely not in the Disney canon, but it kind of also probably wasn't considered when Star Wars Episode 3 came out, and Count Dooku says, "My powers have doubled since or Anakin says, "My powers have doubled since last we met." Apparently, we find out that actually he means when he captured him on. Although I guess says this time we'll take them together. Again, Anakin runs in without Obi-Wan's help and screws himself over. I guess that makes sense.
Haven't they met each other like 30 times in the Clone Wars?
In the Clone Wars, I think they do meet. Yeah,
that whole line's kind of whatever now. It's whatever.
They go out of their way in the Clone Wars cartoon to make sure that Anakin never meets Grievous. But I do think that Anakin and Dooku have encounters, at least in the early seasons. I'm not 100% on that.
They did the same thing with like the Marvel comic stuff too, with like where it's like, oh no, like Luke and Darth met each other like 10 times before like Return of the Jedi again, or in between, But whatever.
But it's
who
like,
cares? It's
yeah,
extra shit.
exactly,
It doesn't bother
exactly.
me.
But it's just it's fun to. But I think when you have like the added context of these side stories, it helps with the world building, and it helps even to enjoy, you know, to enjoy the movies in and of themselves. You know, when I watched Revenge of the Sith, it was right after seeing the Tartakovsky micro series. You know,
Yeah, you had to know
so
why
I had
Grievous was
seen,
crossing.
yeah, exactly. I had seen
The
Mace
coughing there because it was from
Mace
that.
Crust
Yeah.
Grievous's thing. I had seen, more importantly, I had seen Palpatine get kidnapped.
Oh, yeah, that was.
I thought it was cool that that was part of it because I thought that cartoon was really cool. And I know you guys have talked about it before for
Yes.
Mike's show, all that.
Second season wasn't as strong as the first season, but definitely really, really cool. And so yeah, I honestly I wasn't. So let me tell you my experience with this game. I had seen it on shelves at used bookstores, probably at used video game stores
fair.
a lot over the years. I said on the Rogue Leader podcast that this was the era of video games that basically got me to stop playing video games for about 5 to 10 years. I think that PS2 games are really rough for me because they are close enough to modern, like they're trying to do the things that modern games do, or at least, you know, that modern games from 10 years ago were doing. I think there have been some evolutions in recent years, but like they were trying to be, you know, where we kind of eventually figured out control schemes and the controllers kind of look like modern controllers and stuff, but they're not quite there yet. And if you go earlier, then like the 64 32-bit era, like either games are completely unplayable or they're like the stone cold classics that kind of have their unique feel. Or then if you go 16-bit, obviously, then you're talking about 2D and, you know, that the 2D technology, you know, the evolutions and everything, you know, that was kind of the culmination. So like, yeah, this era is rough. And yeah, I was always curious about this game. Yeah, because of it. Like I was playing video games in this era, or in the era directly before, you know, and so, you know, to have stories about the Clone Wars that were created literally before Revenge of the Sith is pretty cool. Like to see, like, it's basically like, I mean, it's not the edge of continuity because still everything was interquels and stuff, but it was pushing the story. Things like this were pushing the story forward. The Clone Campaign's expansion to Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds did this too, and had a lot of the same, you know, I really don't like the design of that tank that you spend half the game driving in this game, but that tank was in Galactic Battlegrounds.
I'm not a fan
I'm
of
pretty
that tank
sure.
either,
Yeah.
I don't remember that tank from other stuff.
Yeah, the tank is like, I always felt like the tank was in there so it can have like so they can have kind of that third person shootery stuff where you strafe around, which is probably a big reason why I liked it, because I like those type of games.
I think it does speak to the design, the like quality of the designs, the iconic things, because most of when you watch episode 2, because one of the great things about episode 2 is that Clone War sequence, you know, where the Battle of Geonosis, and there's a whole bunch of
that Obi-Wan Jango fight was cool in the rain. Come on, you could admit that was cool.
I'll give you that.
And the weird
and the opening sequence,
butt crack guy. Come on, there's a lot of weird.
I love Dexter Jetster, Elon Sleaze-Bagano.
Yeah, that guy's great with his weird alien mustache.
You want to go home and rethink your life? You know, that's what I do every day.
Yeah. Now, there was a lot of good stuff too.
But if you compare, and so if we look at the ships, you know, the stat battle droids, the Spider Walker, the things with the big wheels, the Separatists have a bunch of cool vehicles that are introduced in episode 2, and I'm not sure where I think because we get an ATRT or something that looks kind of like an ATRT, but it's not quite.
That stupid walker,
that tank
that we use.
I don't think that's an ATRT though. So it's like you can. But these
I'm
vehicles
not good at my
Clone
Wars vehicles.
But these vehicles that were designed for the movies are like iconic, like very memorable, very, you know, it's a thing. And then you compare that to the vehicles that were, you know, designed, that showed up in the video games that were, you know, unique to the video games, and they're just not that. And so I think kind of when you juxtapose those, it's an interesting thing. I mean, honestly, the tank was the best controlled thing. I wish it was a better like
was controlled.
I mean,
well.
I don't think they could do this because we weren't. I think if it was made now, they would have been more comfortable borrowing from original trilogy stuff. Or if it was like late Clone Wars, they probably would have. If it was really, that should have been something that looks like a snowspeeder. I think, give us something that looks like one of the iconic ships.
Actually, I like that a lot about this game. Was that the vehicles were more unique from other games. It's like we got like 30 games that have snow speeders in them. Like I'd rather have one that has different things. And like what you were saying with the Geonosis battle, I like the ships from there. So I thought it was cool that you were flying like the Jedi transporter thing around, and you can use the lasers to take out like multiple things at once. Like that was really cool. Lasers. Like I really enjoyed that. Or like when you're on the dinosaur that has the dual bowcasters, which isn't in the movie, but still, that was cool. It's like, yeah, sure, we're in a Kashyyyk moon or whatever with the dual bowcaster dinosaur. Why not? This is, it's stupid, but it's great. I like that a lot. And I mean, that was actually a positive thing for me for the game was the vehicles and the way they controlled too. I didn't think they controlled badly. It's a little weird to like press forward to go forward in a vehicle. I'll admit that, but I don't know. It was fine. I've played much worse games, especially for this show.
Bad. I had never played this before.
I kind of controlled fine. I mean, I did get killed a lot of times for stupid reasons, but
I was constantly getting stuck in corners. Like, I didn't. Like it was
that happened a couple times. Or like with the bosses when I was trying to strafe
randomly hitting invisible walls.
I never hit an invisible wall.
I didn't either.
Oh yeah. I was and it would like and I'd be trying. Especially the worst one was with the troop transport for that. But yeah, I had a lot of.
Yeah. I was like the laser. How it was like a straight laser. That I don't know. You didn't really see that a lot instead of like.
I think if there was also a good ship, then I would have liked that they included the troop transport. Like if there was a Jedi starfighter level that like felt really good. And yeah, I take your point that they chose to take the challenge of having different vehicles that you normally don't see. But first of all, yeah, they had a lot of them, and they kind of like maybe they could have cut one or two, maybe they could have cut the beast, the Wookiee beast thing.
Okay, I could have done
and then spent that time.
No, it was cool. I like that thing.
Making
that was a highlight for me.
I mean, I think the tank felt fine. I just wish that they could have found a better ship design, a more iconic ship design than that. It just that tank, it really looked like what it looked like was like a Gradius ship that was turned into three-dimensional. Like it looked, I don't know, it was just very, I don't know, it seemed very generic video game ship as opposed to Star Wars. But that may also be just my bias because it wasn't in the movie. But like if they could have, like, because we do have ATRTs. I'm pretty sure we have ATRTs in the movie. Do we?
ATRTs, the
walkers. Yeah, the walkers.
Yeah, they were in there. So that was probably my least favorite of the vehicles was the walker because it didn't strafe. Everything had to strafe, and that one did not strafe.
Nothing. I mean,
we had to walk and turn the head. Like, who the fuck can do that? Like, really? Like that's
right. Yeah, that's again. So like, make that control more like the tank, and then have that be the tank. And then take the development time. I don't know. It seemed like they wanted to do and I mean, maybe this is, I mean, you're right. Maybe this is just me having played a lot of modern games and being used to a very specific modern control scheme. And maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I played more old games, but I don't know. As
a guy who only plays old games, this wasn't bad for me. Like, this, to me, handled pretty well. I had no problems with any of the vehicles. I actually enjoyed it a lot.
I feel like when you were saying, like, you don't like the GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox era or whatever because it's the same as the new stuff. I mean, maybe that's...
No. It's not that it's the same.
Enough, or you say
it's not that it's the same. It's trying unsuccessfully to be... Like the goals of those games are similar to the goals of of modern games, but we've had 20 years to figure out that you move with the left stick and you move the camera with the right stick. I mean, honestly, if it was just that, if if they just made that the controls, like if I could just steer with the right stick and move forward with the left stick.
They're being a little more experimental with it back then in this case. But I mean, that's my favorite. That's my favorite era of video games. Like, period, is this time of games like GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, because I felt like they had, maybe they had a little bit more freedom to be a little weirder with it, and it's not. Whereas now it's kind of like you need to have a specific thing. You got to sell a specific amount of copies. Like, you can't really, like I said, like there's no like movie tie-ins anymore. You don't get stuff like this. You know, like that's why I like these type of games. These is like my favorite. This is my favorite era of video games. Like, period. Is this? I guess because there was more out there. Like stuff like this. You would not see a game like this now.
No, this was a short game too.
Like ever. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like a couple. I mean, I played through it like for a few nights. Like, thankfully, because some of the. I mean, as positive as I am on it, there were some levels that really like pissed me off. Because I would kind of die for dumb reasons. Like, I'd be doing fine, and then I'd all of a sudden get hit by like 3 missiles, and then I'd be dead like in 2 seconds. So I was like, okay.
And I mean, and I will also say like this should have been exclusively a vehicle game. The non-vehicle levels were like unacceptable. That was unacceptably bad controls. Like
I mean, the Jedi stuff is like was like super wonky, but I mean, I loved it at the time because there wasn't, at least on consoles, there wasn't a whole lot of, there wasn't really anything like that on consoles where you could walk around as a Jedi and hit people. Like, not really, not a whole bunch. I know there was like a really shitty PlayStation 1 Episode 1 game that had that, but
I mean, Galactic Battlegrounds.
I wanted it.
The controls on Galactic Battlegrounds are infinitely better than that.
I know, but that's on PC. I was talking about console games.
No, Galactic Battlegrounds is a PlayStation game.
Oh, okay. Well, I never played it.
Not Galactic Battlegrounds. Sorry.
No.
Jedi Power Battles is what I meant to say.
Yeah, Jedi Power Battles PS1 game. Galactic Battlegrounds is PC.
I already talked about that game and how much I hate the controls on that game. So that's that's a subject for another episode, I guess.
I mean, at this, I don't know. I think being able to run around and not randomly clip through walls and have. Yeah, I mean, it was just, again, that was just unacceptable. It was just, I mean, it was unacceptably bad. But
I didn't clip through anything, but the control of it, yes, was bad for the.
Yeah, I did not like the when you're just as a Jedi, but the vehicle stuff. So I'm normally not. I don't think I'm that big into these type of games. I mean, I do like Rogue Squadron, so there's that. But I fell in love with this game. Like, I had a blast with this game.
Well, good. I'm glad I didn't steer you into something total shitty. Like,
no, I'm really happy. I can't believe I've never played this before. Like I said, I own it. I've known about this game forever.
Did you play the copy that you had, or did
no, I haven't played it on my Steam Deck.
Well, so you got to play
it the way Nintendo wanted me to play the GameCube version on my Steam Deck.
So you did play the GameCube version, and you played because I would think that it would vary like system to system. I do think that the Xbox one is probably the best version because that one had online multiplayer and the other ones didn't, from my understanding. But I mean, we playing it. I played it on GameCube, like straight up, on a TV as a GameCube, and the frame rate was kind of all over the place for everything, which that was a lot of games at the time. But from some of those defending missions, it got down to like slideshow. It was like it was like 10 FPS or less, than that, and that was annoying. But yeah,
I had that too. There were a couple. It was in the Wookiee part when you're riding those stupid things. That's where the game just
part in the Wookiee. That one sucked because thankfully, compared to like Rogue Squadron, I did like this game a lot better because it has checkpoints, and Rogue Squadron Rogue Leader does not. You have to beat the entire level in the time. I guess you get lives, and you just get one life on this, but.
I never died.
There's no game overs. Well, I mean, did you put a code in
easy, some things didn't even hurt me. It was weird.
Right.
Well, I mean, so I played it on medium. I played it on Jedi Knight.
Rogue Squadron had checkpoints, but you had a limited number of lives, and then if you ran out of lives, then you.
Well, yeah. But but this one, like when you lost a live, it went to game over. But then you could come back from a checkpoint. That's what I meant. Yeah. Like, whereas the other one, if you lost all your lives, you would start.
Yeah.
That made it a lot better for that, even though some of the checkpoints were a little bit too far apart.
Yeah, I think, I know what made the game
where you had to like fucking break out the Wookiees. I guess you don't have to, but that's what I did.
What made the game more playable? What made the game more playable was one. Anyway. You see the clouds kill him even after you let him out, which I thought was funny. You see him in the distance getting killed by the poison clouds, even after you saved them. Like, oh yeah, sorry guys, we'll come back. We'll be friends in episode 3. It's all right. We'll come back. Everybody be fine.
I know it's like a different. It's like a moon or whatever. It's not the same planet.
Yes, not Kashyyyk.
The things to me that made this playable, and I agree that the checkpoints being able to refresh from the checkpoints as many times as you want. Although,
especially for the bosses,
if you end your play session, then you have to start from the beginning of the mission. Because it only saves. It only saves in between missions, which that messed me up at least once.
Oh, yeah. Old school gaming.
Yeah. I mean, well,
how it is. Yeah, you got to finish.
I've got a soapbox about that too, but we'll get to that eventually.
There you do.
Because this game, it did make me go home and rethink my life, and then just the fact that it had difficulty settings. Being able to just dial back the difficulty so that I could handle it in a shorter amount of time, and if it had been if this had been my one game for the month or whatever, then I could have put more time into it and I'd been more patient because I was didn't have brain rot or whatever. But yeah, so here's my soapbox here. It's like when I was playing this game. Now I will say that like there is the Star Wars element and the Clone Wars element, and I actually liked the little bit of story that we get there. So omitting that, I was like, why? Because I also was playing Ghost of Yotai this week, game that was like
a good game,
pure joy, pure like every moment of the week that I am not playing this game. Obviously it's a 25 years or 23 years later. But the thing is, we live 23 years later. So it's like, do I think that I'm some sort of historian? Am I out of games from 2025? Like, why am I mean, I had answers to this, but it is like, ultimately, like, why am I playing games from decades and decades ago?
Because you met me.
I don't watch silent film. Well, no, but this is a whole thing. I was playing retro games before that too, but it's like, I don't watch silent films. If it's a film that's before 1970, I'm only watching the stone cold classics. And this game is, it's Star Wars, so it's got its thing, and maybe that's reason enough, but it is not a classic. And so it's like, why am I doing this? And of course, there's a handful of reasons. One, it has those couple of playability things where you can set the difficulty to easy, and you can have the checkpoints. Probably if I was playing it on an emulator, I might even be able to get additional, save states or whatever that would further,
No, yeah, and I think you can do that in any emulator.
That's what I did. Yes. And
I could also, and it's also, it's a, howlongtobeat.com says it's a 5-hour experience. I think I probably put a little more than that, but
I think that's if you're just going straight through it without
right.
I mean, there's not that much. I mean, there are side objectives in the levels.
I guess if you know what you're doing, you could probably speed run it.
I think that there's 16 missions, and most of the missions take about 30 minutes. No, I think a speed run would probably be faster, but if you're,
I'm not talking about a fucking record or something. I was just saying that as like if you're going fast with it and not like
right. If you're not,
whatever. I mean, obviously, if the speed run would be like fucking 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
or whatever. Is that the record?
It right now.
Is it on How Long to Beat? Or no? What the other one is?
No, I'm just on YouTube, and I just found a speed run because I like to watch a speed run while we talk, so I can remember stuff that I don't remember.
Make sure we're done before they get to the end of the credits.
I mean, that is part depending on how long it goes. Yeah,
good timer.
I forgot there's a level where you're on a swoop bike in the game. I completely forgot that.
Oh yeah, I like that level. I mean,
I did too.
I just thought it had a lot of. I think that what most Star Wars games are missing now is variety of different things that you can do, and I thought this game had variety because you play you use a different vehicle in almost every fucking level. I missed that. I missed that.
This is
even if it's a dinosaur with dual bowcasters, but I think that's
still a unique vehicle. I mean, it was annoying running from the big purple cloud of goo, but that was fine. It was not a real big issue.
I think the thing is.
I had a rough time. I mean, maybe that was the one I tried the most. Actually, that last level, I died a few times, but I found.
I try not to repeat myself too much, but I think the thing is, when I play a video game, I want to spend, especially if there's, I want to spend time learning a set of mechanics, and when you're jumping from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle, I'm getting barely a surface level understanding. And then also there's just like I mean, I just really didn't, other than the tank, I don't think anything controlled well. Yeah, I think the tank, once I got the hang of it, once I got the hang of strafing with the triggers and figured out which buttons did what, because like I always harp on, I should have read the manual. There's no tutorialization in this game at all. So they just throw you a ship, and it's like I was on easily mission 13 of 16 when I figured out how the charge thing worked. That it was a rechargeable thing, that it didn't have anything to do with ammo.
For which thing? For the walker?
For everything. Because you have every vehicle has it's on PlayStation, it's circle, but it has like a secondary, it's either a boost or on the walker it's a shield. On the on the tank it's a boost, on the walker on a shield. The meter
on the side.
Exactly. Like I didn't realize that like just automatically recharged until I was almost finished with the game.
I mean, it does show it though. It shows the color go up as it recharges.
But I was having trouble steering the ship and not getting caught in corners and just randomly exploding because this is such a bullet hell of a game that like I was through the first, and honestly I was on easy mode. These are mechanics that maybe I would have figured out earlier if I was on a harder difficulty, because I would have had to. So that's partially on me, but it's also like where the very thing that you're saying that you enjoyed, I think was a major hindrance for me, because I did not feel like there was the control scheme was confusing on its own, and then it wasn't consistent amongst the numerous vehicles that you were on, that you didn't spend a lot of time with each one.
I feel like we played different games.
I mean, also on the tutorial aspect, like I fucking hate tutorials, so I was pretty happy that there's not one in this game. I understand, nowadays they want to walk you through like 3 hours of how to, press B to talk to the character or whatever, but I kind of miss the times like this where they just drop you into it and you just press start, go to controls, there's your stuff right there. That's all you need to know, really. And it's and I did look at that for every ship, because the controls are different, but I didn't miss a tutorial at all. That's for sure, because there's too many of those nowadays, I think. So I agree
with you. There's too many tutorials.
I think time where they drop you into it and just let you figure it out.
I think the issue is not necessarily even that there aren't the tutorials. It's that you're introducing a brand new ship every time, and it doesn't do, and the ships don't do the same thing. So it's a new control scheme. And I mean, because I can pick it up. I mean, by the end of the first level, I had the tank mostly figured out, except for the charge thing. But and I didn't, and I mean, I'm bad at video games, whatever, but I mean, I still just, it's like why, if I'm playing this, now, it's like, why am I playing this now when I could play better games?
I mean, I would be playing other games too, but I told Mike I would. And also I suggested, just because, I played fucking Masters of Tiramisu before this, I wanted something better.
See, I liked Masters of Terraskazi a lot better.
This was a better game. Like Kendall, like everything you're saying, I'm like, this did me.
This
you
is what
play
you
different
said for
games.
that one too, where you were like, where Kendall's like, this game's great, and Mike is like, shit, piece of shit.
I also
Mike and 90% of the internet says that too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I also just like the visuals in this game. Like most of the time, I couldn't see the enemies. I was basing what I was shooting on exclusively on my target thing.
Yeah, that was kind of its own problem too, because you had to be extra close to them to get targeted, and I did have like issues with the target, that the target would change. Like you couldn't really lock on anything. You just had to be pointed in the right direction, especially for the final boss. It was really annoying where it would target the people would like jump from one to another, and you can't like lock it, which you could in other GameCube games like Metroid, like that sort of thing, or fucking Z targeting from Zelda. They could have put something in there, which that would have been definitely a nice addition. Yeah. I see that.
Well, and also I noticed sometimes it would target something, but I wouldn't be but it still shoots the lasers straight forward. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it still shoots the lasers straight forward. Sometimes it'll shoot them up, Like in the final boss, it would shoot the lasers up, but sometimes it would like say I'm targeting. I'd be targeted something slightly to the left, and it would just shoot the lasers, and it would just miss.
Sure.
Like it was a weird, but just the art design, like yeah, like I said, I couldn't see the stuff, and I was playing on a CRT.
Yeah, I do.
So maybe
I do think it shows its age. Well, I was playing it through a Wii, so I was playing it like 480i, but it doesn't actually have progressive scan on GameCube, so it does look a little muddy in that way. So it could look better, I guess. If they did re-release this on Switch as a remaster, I would totally buy it again. If they just made it a little bit less muddy and whatnot, I would totally go for it. Because like I said, I like this game, so I would go for it if they re-released it. I mean, they re-released.
I really liked. Okay, but let me say, there are things that I liked about this game. I came on here, I was like, I'm not going to be negative. And then I don't know. There were elements. So again, there's some play. It was I liked the idea of the force absorber thingy. I thought that was a cool little thing. Yeah, I thought it had, and I do agree that it has some historical interesting continuity. Like
Ewok killed Roma.
Specifically, it felt. And I mean, maybe this had to do with what you were saying earlier about the voice actors, but just the story of this game that Count Dooku has a weird force absorber weapon thing that Anakin has to train. Although I would have, I would have liked a little bit more of seeing a little bit more of Anakin training to be immune to the force thingy. This weird Old Republic artifact or something feels like it could have been something in. I mean, it could have been in either Clone Wars cartoon, but specifically, I felt like it could have been in the Filoni Clone Wars, the CGI Clone Wars, and the art style is even similar, I think, to that to the CGI Clone Wars series that we got. Which it's just interesting that like this look and feel for that era had been established previously when a lot of people saw that series when it came out, and it was kind of, and felt like the style of it was kind of jarring. I don't know. That's an interesting, nugget of this as a piece of history.
Hey, this game had more explanation to why he turned to the dark side than the movie did in the next movie. So hey, you know what? It gets a point right there.
The reason was girls, man. Girls are nothing but trouble. They're always causing you shit. And it's just the women, man. That's what I'm kidding. But that's kind of the over. I know there's other stuff to it, but
I hate the third movie how quickly he go. Like once Clone Wars comes out, I'm like, okay, now I can buy it.
You saw the younglings; they were annoying. Come on, they feel a lot better now that they're cut in half. Like it's good. It's all right.
Well, that's what I was saying. That was what I was saying previously about
little miniature Force ghosts as kids.
About how that was what I was saying previously about how the sort of, if you have all the puzzle pieces, if you have additional puzzle pieces beyond what you just see in the movies, then it gives additional context, and you can enjoy the movies for what they are. I could say a lot about Revenge of the Sith because I also probably like it more than you guys, but
I like Revenge of the Sith. It's my favorite of all the prequels.
I think Rogue One is my favorite of all the prequels. Oh, I'm edgy.
I like Rogue One. I mean, Rogue One's probably my favorite of any of the new ones.
Close. But I mean, this does add a lot of stuff to, like, had you gotten this around the time the movie came out, I mean, that's when the game came out, like, someone had played it. I mean, it gives you more Star Wars stuff, and especially then, someone
like right after. Sorry.
No, so it is cool. Like, I just can't get over the fact that this existed, and somehow nobody ever talks about this game. Like, people talk about the Episode 1 Power Battles game that I don't think is a good game. Nobody talks about this game.
Way too much. Yeah, I mean, I bet you anything if they re-released it on Switch, you'd see people come out of the woodwork on the comments being like, "Oh yeah, that game, I loved it. I swear, I played it."
Well, this is like on the tail end of a time when there were infinite Star Wars games. I think there's a number of
definitely a lot less now.
There's a number of PS2 eras. I mean, there's a couple of them that stood the test of time in people's memory. Battlefront and
Rogue Squadron.
The Old Republic, and yeah. Well, so even Rogue Squadron, people remember Rogue Squadron, and they probably remember Rogue Leader, but they probably don't remember Rogue Squadron 3 that much.
I think I'm the only one that remembers that game, and that game's bad. I'll say
so we're giving you an excuse next year, February.
People don't remember the
PS2
Starfighter game.
Hopefully we can get milk back on that. For that.
I should be able to. Yes.
I feel like there's another. I feel like there's or Super Bombad Racing. Like there's a lot of stuff that's from this era that sort of. And I mean, maybe it's all good. I mean, maybe that's the point of playing old games, is that maybe some of them are actually better versions than the games that we consider classics.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time somebody mentioned Bombad Racing in the last 3 days, I'd have 2 nickels. Did not see that coming.
What was it? Because you were talking to Kendall twice?
No, I was talking about episode 1 Racer, and then Bombad Racing came up again.
Right, I don't know. And I also Racer's Revenge.
I never played that game. Yeah, I never played that game. But it was. It was a play. I only had Nintendo stuff, so I only played it on that side.
So I think a lot of this stuff, and then people talk about the Revenge of the Sith game.
I actually do like that game, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily great, but I did have a good time with that. There's a bevy, there's a whole bunch of fucking prequel games that I would be into playing, if you wanted to.
Hey,
that's one of them that I would do. Well, I wanted to do Battle for Naboo, definitely, because I think that's actually a good game, but
I do too.
I know a lot of people didn't like the episode 3 game, but I had a lot of fun with that game when it came out, because I got it when the movie came out, and I played it along after I saw the movie.
It's on my, I'm trying to play as many freaking Star Wars games as I can get a hold of, just because I like Star Wars.
I wouldn't mind beating was it Republic Commando? I never made it all the way through that one. I played through that one too.
I've been meaning to redo that. That was actually episode 21 of this show. One of our best episodes ever, actually. I mean, how many years? That was beginning then, right? So it was yes, that was 7 years ago almost.
Yeah. I know you record a lot of episodes, so episode 21 was, I would imagine, is first year.
With the gaming weeks, I'm actually because I have all the game weeks have their own particular order, so you can tell how long the show's been going on. It's 370 something, I think we're in. Or 350 something, I can't remember.
We're about to hit 500 in 3 weeks.
Pretty good. It's really good. 359 is the one I'm recording tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know you. I feel like you're recording all the time, so it's hard to. But I know that I know there's 50 some weeks in a year. So even if you're going weekly, 21 would still be your first year.
Yes.
I think I liked the boss fights too.
They weren't bad.
A lot of straight, which I mean, like I said, I like it. You're not doing dual analog aiming or whatever, but if you've ever played Doom on Game Boy Advance, you'll kind of feel at home on this, because that's how it worked. You strafed with L and R and you moved with your control.
Oh yeah, Doom on Game Boy Advance, a very ubiquitous touchstone. I
was saying any of the first-person shooters that were on Game Boy Advance controlled like that, or Super Nintendo. If you remember those old games, this game felt like that to me. Where you did strafe with L and R. Even fucking Doom 64 had a L and R as strafe, as the default control when that came out. So it was an older thing, and yeah, sure, it would probably be better with the dual analog, but I'm kind of used to it, I guess, because of those older ones that use that sort of style. I
think I've only ever played Doom on modern systems or on PC.
You didn't play it on PC when it came out in 90 whatever. 96
I played it a little bit. Also in fourth grade, because I was in fourth grade when Doom 2 was a thing, one of my classmates installed it on all of the computers, and so we would play it during indoor recess. Teacher got in trouble for that. That was golden era when the kids knew how to do stuff on the computers that the teachers didn't. It's probably still true, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah, I know they're just. Well, I mean, they're probably installing Roblox, but it used to be people always trying to Fortnite.
Yes.
Although, do kids even know how to use computers these days? I don't know.
I mean, they got their tablets, or you can be considered computers by some people. So
I mean, depending on what tablet you have, it pretty much is. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, then some laptops have touchscreen or whatever. It's pretty close, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but Doom.
But can they get in the? Can they get in the tinkering? Can they go into the files?
I would say yes.
Stuff?
Yeah,
because the ones that the young kids that I've tried to do tech with, you'd be surprised. And when I've tried to do the thing, but anyway.
So the only levels I didn't really like were when Anakin. Well, I don't like anything with Anakin because he just irritates me from this era. But the Kashyyyk stuff when you're riding the thing, which I know you liked, I did not like those at all. But other than that, even game was a blast.
I kind of like the Ghost area where you fight, where you got to blow up the tombs with the Phantoms and all that.
I died a lot.
I mean, I died a lot too. But I mean, I like the idea of it. I kind of liked what they did with the story, just being a little bit more creative with it and being
same. It was really cool to kind of see some of the
old timey Jedi ghosts or whatever, and ancient. Yeah. I always like ancient Sith shit or whatever. I always like that.
Have you played Jedi Survivor?
No, not all the way through.
You should, because
that's the one
it's
with
all
the kid,
about
right?
Yeah, with Cal Kestis.
I got the PS4 one, the first one, and I played it a little bit, but I kind of bounced off.
It's a good game. So is the second one.
The second one
that's what I hear. They put it
don't
on
buy it on Steam.
But if you like Old Republic stuff, it's got a whole. If you like Old Republic artifact shenanigans stuff, it's not technically Sith because he's a fallen Jedi, but yeah,
whatever. I mean, they actually did do that in a lot of games because isn't that? I know it's in Jedi Academy. I'm sure there's stuff in Jedi Outcast as well. Which, speaking of that, I noted there's a trailer for Star Wars Bounty Hunter and Star Wars Jedi Outcast on this game. I don't know if you found that. If you looked in the extras, there's
I did
trailers.
not.
At least on the GameCube one, there are.
I enjoyed this game. I turned it off. I went, man, that was a good time, and that was it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just like to poke around it, especially when it says like extras. I always want to see like, oh, what's in there, and it's basically it shows all the cutscenes, and you can watch trailers for Jedi Outcast and Bounty Hunter.
I still need to play Jedi Outcast someday. And
I love
it.
that game's too. I love that game too. I think that one's really good. I mean, I always wanted to.
Played a little bit.
I never played the one, whatever, Dark Knight or what is it? What was it? What's
Dark
the first
Forces
one?
2?
Dark Forces.
There's Dark Forces, Dark Forces 2, then Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and then Jedi Academy.
Yeah, right. Because it's Dark Forces and then Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, and then it's Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Right. That's the way it goes.
I think so.
It's the second one that I never played.
And Mysteries of the Sith is the expansion to Jedi Knight. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always get to about the second level. I always say I'm going to play the whole series and then get to the second level of Dark Forces and then see something shiny. But I get the Death Star plans, and that's the important thing.
I played through the whatever. I mean, I played the Night Dive Studios version they did on Switch, and I thought it was really good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I played through it in high school also on PC. So.
The old one ain't that great. That's a tough game.
I like that you can like punch you can punch the crate dragon to death.
Yes.
I did that with no weapons. That was fun. That was the thing I used to do in high school. So muscle memory and all that shit.
I mean, to go back to like this game, all the vehicles are nice that it has a variety. I mean, I know, Kendall, you had I do understand your complaints, but I liked all the vehicles. I just like the story that it's like Count Dooku is trying to get an old artifact, and they're trying to they're having this is at the time this was the Clone Wars that we knew of.
Yeah,
I mean, Tarkovsky was been around.
As I said, it was like our first Clone Wars story, right? Aside from whatever comics should have been out, but in a game, like after the movie, like it was, it was all like, oh, the Clone Wars. What is it? What is the Clone Wars? And then we finally get to see like a smidgen of it or whatever.
I could have done without.
That was the marketing campaign was that we're going to tell this after Attack of the Clones came out. They said we're going to tell the story of the Clone Wars through other media. So you had the novels that were a Clone Wars novel, starting with Shatterpoint. You had the Clone Wars comics, and then you had this game, and there probably were some other games that told parts of this story, and then you had the the micro series all over the course of that 3-year period, which felt like a lot. It felt like a lot of story, but then we've gotten so much more since then. But at the time, it felt like a lot of story.
It was one of the first, right? Yeah. Well, now there's a million things before it, but at the time, it was exciting because it was what we had.
I mean, I still think this game is exciting.
I really miss those LucasArts intros too. Like I did want to mention that where it shows them like dancing with the thing, like carrying it like a they that was like in almost every Star Wars game back in the day. And I miss those. I just miss seeing those. I know like LucasArts is like pretty much dead now, but I miss the fun intros. Like the dancing stormtroopers, like in the Rogue Squadron one and stuff like that, where they always had like a different little animation with the character. It's like, oh yeah,
it just showed they cared in a way too. Like
back in the day when Star Wars games were cool, were fun in my opinion.
I just want to I think that if this game was better, I would have really liked. Like I think I would have felt like it's like these little things took it out of it. Took me out of it. Like the you talked about the Kashyyyk level, like when you commandeer the AAT so it's like cool, I'm piloting an AAT, and then you're having to like maneuver it through this like really, really tight maze of getting it out. And it's like if that level was designed better, get out of it.
then you have to get out of it and be a Jedi. Is what I was gonna say. What I thought
the Jedi parts were
even worse.
I mean, they were original.
Yeah,
they weren't good.
It just like you should be able to make like this was 2002. They should be able to have game. Bounty Hunter was around this same time, and the controls in Bounty Hunter are like the you can jump.
Bounty Hunter is a completely different game. I mean, Bounty Hunter is like a third-person shooter where you are
right, but these were third-person shooter levels. So if you're going to have
mostly
those
vehicle levels too,
that's but that's what I'm saying is don't have
the Jedi
that
stuff was an afterthought. Is what it was. Whereas like the Django thing was, it had one control through the whole thing, and that it was specifically made around a character moving through a world. Where these character moving through the world, I honestly thought they just kind of threw those on at the end because it really felt like if you played Rebel Strike, their on-foot missions feel the same or worse than this. It's kind of the
worse,
except for. I don't know. No. Some of those are really bad. Like they look better, but their controls are so weird.
But again, that's my point. Is that there's all these. There's not like a core mechanic that feels really really good, and then a couple things that feel slightly less good. There's a lot that feels half baked or 3/4 of the way baked. And then a few things that are really egregious. And it's like, if this game was better, it would have been amazing. It would have been really good. It would have been a stone cold classic, but like, there's a reason I think that it hasn't. And that I just can't, other than the fact that it's easy, that's the only thing, the way that the kind of redeeming, saving grace that it has for a lot of it. Again, it's just like, it just doesn't quite. And I think that's true of a lot of games of the time, is that they just don't quite hit the mark because it was good for the time, but it's like video games are good for now. I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself.
If they re-release it now on Switch, people would buy it. I bet you anything. Which I think they will, because they're, like I said, they re-released Jedi Power Battles, so they'll put anything out now.
I hope they re-release this, because I would love to see this with an extra coat of paint.
I haven't played the Switch version of Jedi Power Battles. I know they added extra characters. I don't know if they messed with the controls at all.
They didn't. I played it. It plays just as bad as it did on Dreamcast.
I played Jedi Power Battles like once a very long time ago, but we never got far.
I tried it many times. It wasn't. I thought it was going to be like kind of a fun beat 'em up ish thing with Jedi. I just could not get into it because the platforming was awful.
Yeah, the platform is a little rough in it.
At least you didn't have to jump anywhere in this game. We could give.
I think the beat 'em up aspects of Jedi Power Battles are pretty good, but the some of the traversal stuff is rough. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, if I played it I did play it when it came out, and I still don't like it. But
it's also like.
I really like it.
But it's also like that is one of the games I will say, as fond as I am of Jedi Power Battles, it is one of the games that like I played in that era that led me to not play games for a little while because I thought I was bad at video games, and then when I kind of dove back into that era of gaming 10 years ago or so, I realized no, it's that the problem was the games. If you play good games, then I'm not so bad at the good games. And I think I rolled credits on this game, so I'm not that bad at it. But I liked the final boss fight. There were things that I liked. I liked the final boss fight.
The final boss fight was cool. Was fun. Actually, like you just had to keep hitting all the different targets, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I remember. That's kind of all I like. The vague memories I remember of it was there was like some weird Jedi stuff. I remember that, and I remember the final boss being cool. Like that's about all. And it was just a game that this is a game when I would just go and I'd just play the levels over and over again and try to get all the extra whatever the bonus objectives and that sort of thing, and just because it was fun. And I know there is multiplayer to it. I never played it though. I never played it with anybody. I don't think. I don't remember. But like I said, the Xbox One had online, which would be interesting. But I never really did the multiplayer stuff. But as far as like a regular kind of like a Rogue Squadron type game with vehicle combat or whatever, I thought it was really cool for the time.
No, I do too. Any last things you guys want to say?
Even though I do think your team members are kind of worthless. I was going to ask you guys if there's any way to make them, because this is what I did. Like maybe it's the wrong way to do it. I would you target on something, then you got to press up on the control pad to make your guy attack it. But he might not do it if the target's like not exactly on it at the right time, and they'll say like do not comply or whatever shit. And that was really annoying. I was like, can I get him to just shoot whatever I'm shooting, just like all the time?
I had them just with me, and they just shot things.
Oh no, they just ran into me a lot. Like, and I felt like they were always in front of me, and I was always shooting missiles at them.
I didn't have that problem.
Get the fuck out of here. Or sometimes I would send them to die. That'd be pretty fun. You could be like, oh, here, go fight that person. I'll stay over here, and then they go die, and then you don't have to deal with them anymore. But yeah, when I got to the final boss, they were all dead. So
they don't. We all had like different experiences. The final boss. They don't join you in the final boss because they can't. Because they couldn't. Because only you are immune to the Force.
Well, sure, but also they were both dead when I got there. So if there was like a cutscene where they're like, "Okay, Anakin, you go do your dark side stuff. We're going to stay here and eat Cheetos or whatever," I missed that because they were already dead before.
I think there's something because they didn't die on mine.
Yeah,
like I said, they killed the second to last. The I thought that was a little anticlimactic. I don't remember what his name was. The name character. Yeah.
Oh, the like bounty hunter guy that Count Dooku sends after you at one point for a little boss fight.
Do they help you in that? Because I didn't have them for there either.
They helped me. Yeah, they took him out. That was like one of the only times that I used them in the whole game because I realized they were with me and I could like have them attack him, and they did while I was running and trying to find health.
Oh yeah, there was well maybe on the easy version there was, but there was no health in there at that part on Jedi Knight. It just missiles. That's all you could get. There was no health refills because I did that. I tried to find health too, but actually I did have fun with that one because I basically played it like I was playing Doom on Game Boy Advance or whatever. I played it like an old first-person shooter where I'm just circle strafe around the guy, shoot a bunch of missiles till you run out of missiles. Try to run and get more missiles. Do the same thing, circle strafe until you're out of missiles. Go back, get more missiles, circle strafe again. That's basically what I did. And except you would have to sometimes because there were some heat-seeking missiles that you had to and there were some other bosses that were like that too, where they're all kind of follow you and you have to boost to the other side and get away from them. This will destroy you in a couple seconds if you don't dodge them.
Well, I didn't know how to strafe until the first boss made me strafe.
Yeah, and you were playing the game wrong because that's such a big part of the game, the strafing.
Yeah, but
nobody told me.
No, the game doesn't. I hit all the buttons.
Yeah. There's only 6 buttons on the 7 buttons on the GameCube. Hit them all. See what they do.
I'm glad I played the GameCube version just because GameCube runs better sometimes on Steam Deck than PS2.
Yeah, I don't know what the PS2 version is like. I never played that one or the Xbox one. Like I said, the GameCube one it ran really good sometimes and sometimes it didn't, depending on how much stuff was on screen at the same time. That's what I was saying. If they re-released it and made the frame rate better, made the resolution better, I think it would be a fine looking game.
I think it mostly ran okay. Once the levels loaded it, that was the other thing that was really frustrating was the levels load times were really brutal. And also it would be going
I didn't either.
My PS2 was going
yeah. Like I said, it might have been
about 30
been
seconds.
It might have been a worse version on I don't know. Yeah, the PS1. Yeah, I didn't notice any sort of load times.
My wife just heard me make that noise.
She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That is exactly what she said. That is exactly what she said.
PS2? I know the sound of that.
It is her PS2, technically.
My PS2 is when I tried to play Xenosaga 1, it was doing the same thing, and it's skipping through all the cutscenes, and not in a good way. It's barely hanging on.
But the only thing I didn't like about this game were the little tanks. But when I learned it, I actually didn't learn the sniping thing until way too late in this game. Until the tanks, you had to do it.
Yeah, I didn't do it at all until that final mission because I kept dying at the same part, trying to get out of the town. There's this bridge that you go down.
Yes.
And then those things with the giant wheels, there's 10 of them that come at you one after another, and there's
just too many enemies.
You're not paying enough attention, you'll die in a couple seconds. And I was dying every time there, so I So I would like hold the zoom button so I could shoot them from really far away and they wouldn't hit me. So that, because I watched some like videos just, of playthroughs just to be like, all right, what am I doing wrong? And then I just watched somebody else play and I was like, oh, well, some people did that, but it's harder. I just didn't normally do it. But this one you could snipe, you could kind of cheese your way through it and just be like, oh, they can't see me, but I can snipe them and shoot them from far away. And then
it's really good with the fake AT-AT.
So I did that.
ATST.
That level, where I struggled was at first they were making it sound like I needed to hurry. So like my priority was driving, getting to the end of it.
Wise.
And which I know that's the thing that games do. I mean, Ghost of Yotai did this.
There's like a bonus objective to getting out of there than less than 5 minutes. I'm sure.
But I really didn't care about bonus objectives.
Me either.
I did some of them. I like destroying those giant ships, like for
the Techno Union ships. I did get that one. Yeah, I did get that one.
I was like, they had a weird name. Yeah, Techno Union. It sounds like some sort of dance.
I just don't like the Techno Union.
Army will sign your treaty. It's
like a union that like is like you can only dance to techno and nothing else. It's I don't know. Techno Union sounds funny.
Yeah, they're green. They're green guys with little goggles on. I don't like them.
Techno Union.
Yeah, I guess they do have the goggles. Yeah, they're the guy's like he looks like a robot. And yeah,
there's not that many of them. They're mostly robots. I think.
Army will sign your treaty. I didn't realize those were Techno Union ships either. But I mean, until the thing. But then So then when I slowly methodically took, because what was happening was I was flying past most of the enemies, and then a billion of them were building up behind me, and so then I was a bullet hell from the front and a bullet hell from the back, and I was dying. So when I like slowly methodically took out every single tank,
that's the way you have to.
Then I was able to clear through that section pretty handily. I mean, I was on Padawan, so like, whatever.
You're playing the right way.
I could barely. I mean, I could still like barely tell what was going on most of the time.
You gotta play it on the default level. That's how I feel. You gotta play it how
whatever the lowest difficulty the game lets me do. That's the default.
I mean,
so I play my games.
I was like, I can beat it on medium. I can do it. I don't know. I probably get.
If I play a game. When I play a modern game, I play one above medium. I play one harder than medium so that I can dial it back when the game gets hard. But when I'm playing an older game, just because I know that I'm going to be fighting against the controls in addition to fighting the game and fighting against the other stuff and getting frustrated at things that they have figured out in the last 20 years how to make less frustrating. So I'm going to play and yeah, you're right. There is a time limit to it too. Like I don't want to focus on new game.
You're forced to play a game in a sense, and it can be tough for people. I don't know how I do it personally, but that's what I like. But yeah, it can be.
Well, but I think there's.
You seem to like it all right.
There's something to.
I do actually a lot.
I know.
I like the schedule.
I would have hated this game if it was as hard as Rogue Squadron. I think I would have because I just like things like because the bullet hell aspect or other things. I mean, I know I've been really critical of it.
That's fine
because it's made me question my entire existence.
It's just a game, man. It's just the game.
I know, but like
PS2 game.
But like, should I have a CRT set up right now? Should I keep that CRT set up? Like, should I leave
Apparently
my
not,
PS2 plugged in and play other games, or should I throw it all in the garbage and just play Fortnite all the time? Like, no, actually, no.
The Simpsons stuff is
not going to play
cool.
Fortnite. Yeah, I couldn't get Fortnite to work tonight, so I've never.
You can't play it on PS2. It never worked on there.
All right, I think we should go to Shelf Stacker Box.
There was one funny thing that I thought was, I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff about this game, but I don't know if you noticed, like, like every Star Wars game, especially ones with vehicles, like R2 has to go like do like that fucking noise every time. It was pretty funny. It did that when you're like a Jedi. It's like, I have no R2 on me. Like, stop doing this. Like when you
when you're a Jedi or when you're riding a
or you're riding a dinosaur or whatever. It's just in everything. And I think I found.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Even when it came out, that it just always makes the R2 noise. And would there even be an R2 in the tank thing? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I liked that. Yeah, there wouldn't be. Yeah, there
even if you get it like once, it does it. It's like, dude, fake R2 or whatever. Like, shut up. Like, it's like, okay.
Well, it does it when you're out of shields. like when you're basically one hit away from death.
It does it all the time. It does it when you get hit like once. Like it was doing it constantly. And same thing, it does it when you're the Jedi and there's no R2 there. It's like, okay.
Maybe it works different on the GameCube.
I didn't want
in
to
mine,
change
it definitely only
effects.
happened. It definitely only happened when my shields were completely depleted.
It did it all the time. It did it every time I got hit. Or maybe that was the R2s from my team members that were getting killed. I don't know. But it was still pretty loud.
Maybe every time you got hit, maybe you died in 2 hits and
No, it took a lot more than that. It took a lot more than that on middle version, but
it took a lot to kill me on easy. Like they could beat down me and nothing happened.
It would, and then except for when it didn't. Like,
yeah, no, you're right. It's like you'd be invincible, and all of a sudden you just watch your health start draining. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then I'd run for my life.
Things like the spider robots will take your life down pretty quickly, or like the ones that whatever the fuck they're called, the tank looking things with the giant, with the giant gun on the front of them. You use one of them that's really slow. Those take a lot of your life away if you get hit by them. The red,
Yeah,
things they shoot at you.
I used to know their names. They have
AATs. The AATs are the Trade Federation tanks.
Yes.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah,
those are the ones.
Anything else to say?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
10 out of 10, game of the year.
All right, I'm going to a shelf stacker box. I'm going to go first. We're getting a positive out of the way. I'm putting this on the shelf. I loved it. This was a really fun game, and I'm very glad you mentioned it, Trey, because I would have never played this game had you not suggested it. Like, I just had no interest, didn't know anything about it, didn't care, and I had a really good one day just running through and playing this. Or maybe 2 days. 2 days to beat it.
I'm glad that it didn't torture you.
No,
it was just kind of a thing that I had good memories of, and I was like, is that game even good? I don't know. I played it a lot in 2002, and I haven't played it in 20 some years. But I would put it on the shelf too, because I like it. I mean, it's got some roughness from it being an older game, but I still think it's good, and I still. I don't know. I consider it a classic or whatever that means. But, I consider it to be a good GameCube era Star Wars game. So there you go.
And Kendall.
Well, so
trash.
I don't know why I was so negative on this episode. I actually didn't hate it as much as it made it sound, but maybe I was just trying to be a voice of dissent. I mean, the answer, of course, is going in the box, but I just basically I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm not mad I played it. I'm just questioning, whether I should seek out games that are not Star Wars games, because I was going to do a deep dive into more PS2 games, and maybe this is making me question that. There's something like that. But I have a piece of paper on my wall over there that hangs on my wall that has a list of every single expanded universe Star Wars novel. And when I read a Star Wars novel, I take a highlighter and I highlight it. And I get a dopamine hit that I did this. I read this. I never have to read it again. I'm continuing. Yeah, it's a quixotic thing or whatever you call it, a quixotic pursuit that eventually I will read every expanded universe novel. And I like good Star Wars and I like bad Star Wars. Sometimes I like bad Star Wars better than good Star Wars. I will say this was not the type of thing that I would like better than good Star Wars, but it does have a little bit of that. Like, I wish that there is an element of I wish that they had kept making Star Wars games through the Xbox 360 era into, and then I think where we're at now, where we're getting, a game every couple years is actually pretty good. And also the Jedi Fallen Order and Outlaws were good games. I have not played Squadrons. Battlefront 2, played a little bit of the campaign and liked, but this does feel like, and I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe I should spend more time with Battlefront because I've played a little bit of Battlefront, but
are you talking about Are you talking about the EA one or the PlayStation 2?
The OG Battle, because I'm thinking
because pandemic.
Because this does kind of feel like one of those games where the next game in the series would be good. And the next game in the series is Battlefront, which is one of the most well-regarded Star Wars games of all time. So maybe I should give Battlefront another shot.
Yeah, well, I'd say
I'll give you an excuse to eventually.
I'd say I'd jump to Battlefront 2 if I was you, because one is real basic, and Battlefront 2 has a cool single-player mode to it, where you basically get to go through the rise of the Empire and all that.
Doesn't one have a single player too?
Not really. No. I mean, well, it does, but you're just doing basically doing the multiplayer maps, but by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just re-released it a couple of years ago on Switch, so I played through both of them again. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed Battlefront 2. And
It's either on my Steam or my GOG library.
I do think the Jedi controls on that are a lot better than this one. I'll say that one because you do get to play. Yeah. They have the hero mode, which you can play as the different characters, and it has improved a lot from this game. But the same engine, But they made some strides there, and
so maybe that's the takeaway.
Some people hated the controls of that too, but I think the space controls are still pretty rad for Battlefront 2. But
I want to replay Battlefront 2. I haven't since like early 2000s.
I liked it.
It's something I think about from time to time.
But I'm glad, I now when I go into a used video game shop and out of the corner of my eye I see Star Wars: The Clone Wars for PS2 or GameCube. No, the GameCube version won't be there. They never have a big GameCube section at these stores that I go to.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
No,
they've got like 4 GameCube games, but they always have this game. 100% of them have this game sitting on the shelf in their gigantic PS2 section, and I won't have to wonder about it anymore. So I guess that's a takeaway.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, fuck that game. Whenever you'd be like,
well, if somebody asks, I could,
that game is way worse than Ghost of Yote. Way worse.
That's true. That's true. It is. Yeah. It is worse than Ghost of Yote.
I know.
It's also worse than the Pokemon pack that I'm playing right now.
How dare they do not have moving pedals around at all times? What were they thinking in 2002? Why is it not about Japanese shit? Like, come on. I guess it kind of is because it's Star Wars.
I mean, yeah,
so it is always about Japanese shit.
All right, we should go to plugs. And Trey, where can people find you at?
Oh, hi, I'm Trey. Yeah, Nintendo Main. It's a podcast that we do weekly. We're a few weeks away from our 500th episode, so check that out. It's it's like end of the year, doing game of the year stuff. Of course, talking weekly about new games and old games, and we have guests on from various indie games and whatnot. Like we try to get a variety of Nintendo things and whatnot. We just did an episode, of course, talking about the new Mario Galaxy trailer and how none of us really want to see it, but we probably will anyway for the show. So there you go.
All right, and Kendall.
So you can find everything I do at kendallcast.ninja. I burped in the middle of saying that. You can find everything I do.
I was just going to edit it all out, but
okay. Well, yes, go ahead. Sure, you were.
Just say it again.
Yeah. The best way to guarantee something makes the show is to say that you're going to edit it out. You can find everything I do at kendallcast.ninja. Also, I've been really focused on producing stuff for the Kendallcast Network YouTube page, which is I think youtube.com/Kendallcast Network. What have I done recently? We do a movie roundtable where we're talking about the Nicolas Cage film by Charlie Kaufman and Charlie Kaufman's fictional twin brother adaptation. Yep. That hopefully will be out. That episode will hopefully be out before this episode is. And I do some stuff about the Star Wars customizable card game, and some video game stuff. Yeah, I am planning on doing a video game, a game of the year episode where you can hear my thoughts on games like that came out in 2025 that are less, get less frustrating games like Baby Steps. But that's stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing these days.
All good. There'll be a link to your podcast. Doesn't matter. So they can go look on there on the website and see what you're up to. You make a lot of content. Right? If you enjoyed this episode, there's over 900 other episodes of this podcast. We do movies, TV shows, video games, comics, all sorts of content. If you want to support the show, do a Patreon. You can vote in our Patreon polls. Plus, if you donate $10 or more, I will plug your YouTube or podcast to these lovely people, Phoebe Stanton, the Let's Play Princess, on YouTube and Twitch. And also check out her podcast, Nerds of Broadcast. And check out absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress. I talk about the MCU movies, MCU-adjacent movies, and they're currently doing the Alien franchise. Check out their show, too. And we'll give a shout out to A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker, currently on hiatus. We'll be back eventually. Check out his podcast. And we'll give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro critic, Helena, at Hell Hasfer. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. I'm all over the place. And then rate and review wherever you get your podcast. That's what I also want to say. So yeah, I think it's everything I need to say. Wait, and join our Discord. I don't know how I forgot. Join the Discord. It's free. And if you want to be on the show, that's how you do it, because I'm always looking for new people to join us. So if you want to ever felt like it, join the Discord. Free. All right, I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Later.